guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new or simply not yet subscribed, I'm Brittany, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am very clearly a Ravenclaw, and anything Ravenclaw I instantly fall in love with. Let me know your Harry Potter house down below. And this is the perfect outfit to wear for this video because we're talking about Pukwudgies. It sounds like such a made-up name. Like, it sounds like it's a word that a kid made up. I get very excited anytime I'm talking about any mythological creature. I wasn't allowed to go outside when I was younger because my mom was very convinced that I would just get sick if I went outside, but I was always sick anyway, so it didn't really matter. Honestly, that probably would have made me a little bit healthier. But I fell in love with mythology. It almost to me felt like coming home. Like, it was this thing that interested me so much and made me so happy to learn about. But Pukwudgies, I didn't actually learn about until more recently. I definitely came across them, but I didn't really dive into them. So it leaves the question, is it possible for there to be little magical people in the forests of New England? Most would be like, no. But some people have seen them. Only recently has stories about fairies in New England become popular. And there's a reason for that. When Puritans had came to New England in the 17th century, they would bring a lot of folklore with them. This folklore wasn't specific to their homeland, though. They would talk about witches and the devil and ghosts. But legends and stories of dragons and fairies would be left back in their country because they were very specific to the land. They believed that fairies lived in specific landscape features such as fairy mounds or old castles. So it wouldn't make sense for them to bring those stories over here as if they were here. But some are seeing a fairy type creature in New England called the Pukwudgie. Pukwudgies are these magical creatures who live inside wooded areas and swamps. They're considered spirits of the forest, and they can vanish at will, confuse humans, create fire, launch poison arrows, use magic, and even lure people to their death. They have this ability to shapeshift into different animals or into this like hybrid, half human, half porcupine looking creature. But if you spot one, it's best to leave them alone because if you annoy them, it's not going to end well for you. They play pranks that you might not find funny, such as stalking you or taking your memories. Sometimes they even go an even darker route and will kidnap your children, push you off a cliff, or convince you to do that yourself, attack you with their short knives or their spears, and even use sand to blind you. Pukwudgies resemble humans, but they are a lot smaller, and they have a canine-like nose and enlarged ears, lips, and fingers. They also are known to be seen in places that paranormal activity is quite common, such as they've been encountered at Fall River, which is really close to the Lizzie Borden house. They've also been seen at the Moundsville Penitentiary in Indiana and Round Rock in Texas, where Bigfoot has been spotted. Now, no one knows exactly how tall these creatures are, but most of the stories say that they're about 2 to 3 feet in height. Others will argue that they're knee height. Native Americans believe that there was once a time where the Pukwudgies would get along with humans, but now they don't like us. And guess what? It's the humans' fault. Specifically, the Wampanoag tribe. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Yeah. If you are not new to my videos, I probably pronounce a lot of things wrong. Now, this tribe loved Shop the giant. And they weren't happy about the Pukwudgies in the area. They thought that they were annoying and a nuisance when the Pukwudgies were trying to be helpful. They weren't really doing anything wrong. So the tribe asked the giant to get rid of the Pukwudgies, and he threw them out of the area. Well, he violently shook them first, and then he threw them out of the area. And he even killed some in the process. Obviously, the Pukwudgies were not very thrilled, and they returned with vengeance. That's when their pranks turned deadly. They started kidnapping children, burning villages, and harming the Wampanoag people. So instead of the giant dealing with this himself, he sent his 5 sons to do it. However, the creatures lured them into deep grass and killed them with their magical arrows. They are known as the oldest mythological creatures in North America. And legends of the Pukwudgies originated from the Wampanoag, the Mohican, and the Algonquin Indians. They believed that the creatures lived in the woods and marshes of the eastern seaboard. And different regions view the creature differently. Great Lake tribes thought that they were mischievous, but harmless. And the Northern Algonquin tribe believed that they were violent if disrespected, but if they were left alone, they were fine. And obviously we know how the Wampanoag people thought of them. There have been quite a bit of sightings of Pukwudgies in Massachusetts. And police have gotten so many reports of the creature that there is even a Pukwudgie crossing sign near Freetown State Forest. If you guys want me to go there and look for Pukwudgies, I absolutely will. Just hit the like button so I know. There have been several unexplainable deaths that has happened in recent years in this area, and it's blamed on the Pukwudgies, luring people off to a towering cliff in the forest that is known as Ascent Ledge. The area is less than 20 miles from Hockomock Swamp, which some believe is where the Pukwudgies came from. They're said to have this smooth gray skin that sometimes glows. One man saw a Pukwudgie with fur, glowing red eyes, and nose like a wolf. When it ran away from him, it let out this disturbing moan. And even though the Pukwudgies don't look like the most adorable creatures, they're said to let off this really sweet floral smelling scent. And they even appear in Harry Potter, which is why this is perfect. Harry Potter is my favorite thing. And the creature is a symbol in a house in Ilvermorny School of witchcraft and wizardry. Other sightings of Pukwudgies include a man walking his dog in 1990. When he saw one, the creature was trying to lure him into the woods, okay, come here, and he didn't listen and he did escape. In 2023, there was a woman by the name of Mary, who was walking her dog around 4 to 5 a.m. when she saw this humanoid creature with black matted fur and glowing eyes. She told her coworkers about what she saw the next day, and they thought that what she saw was a Pukwudgie. In another account in 1990, a woman named Joan was walking her dog in the forest in the spring. Her dog ran off the path, which meant that she had to go into the woods. When the dog had finally stopped, Joan found herself staring at this strange little being standing on a rock. She said that the creature resembled a troll, but it was 2 feet high with pale skin and hair on his arms and the top of his head. The torso made up the majority of his body, and he had very short legs. His eyes were a deep green, and he had large lips and a long, almost canine-like nose. Joan was in shock and just stared at the creature, and it stared back. Finally, the dog ran back to the path, and Joan, snapped out of the trance and ran back to get her dog. However, even though she had left the creature and didn't freely interact with it, she just kind of stared at it, This wasn't the end because the creature started stalking her. It would show up numerous times at her bedroom window at night and wake her up. The visits would continue until she moved. And here is the last encounter that I have. Tom first saw a Pukwudgie when he was a teenager. He had snuck out of his parents' house one night to take a walk in the woods and just kind of clear his mind. As he walked on the path, he saw a glowing light. He said, "I noticed a dim light, like in the form of a ball, in front of me. It was white and it swelled like it was breathing. It rose to about my shoulder and then flew off to the woods," which to me, personally, sounds like a will-o'-the-wisp. Will-o'-the-wisps are quite interesting. They're like another type of fairy. I do an entire video about will-o'-wisps, so after this video, definitely go and check that one out. Anyways, Tom followed this light into the woods. Light disappeared. And as he turned to head back home, he realized that he wasn't alone. A short man covered entirely in fur was standing by him. The man was about 2 feet tall and had a nose like a wolf. The man ran away from him into the trees with a strange moan. Tom would end up seeing the creature a second time. One night he drove out to Freeman State Forest and he was sitting in the parking lot in his car. He turned off the engine and the headlights and turned the radio down. He soon realized that he wasn't alone. Standing in the darkness, staring at Tom, was the same little man that he saw before. The creature stood about 20 feet away, and he could see its glowing red eyes in the night. Abruptly, his engine would start and his radio would start blasting. And it wasn't because Tom turned it on. So obviously that startled him and he sped away. There have been several other accounts of people encountering Pukwudgies in Massachusetts. Other states have similar beings that people have encountered. And maybe one day we can reverse the pain that was once inflicted on them and show them that humans aren't all bad. It's just so sad. I mean, there's so much lore and mythology about fairies being driven underground, or how, once there was a time where we all lived together. Maybe not completely together, but like where we all lived on the same plane. We all lived like in the same areas and everything was fine, but humans had driven them underground and it's horrible. Hopefully one day, they will realize that there are decent humans that will accept them and want them to be part of our lives. Clearly, I believe in fairies. I just think that there's so much evidence. I mean, people don't really see it as evidence, but for centuries, people have, far before the internet, far before we had an easy way of communicating with each other, people from completely opposite parts of the world would have similar encounters with creatures that look almost identical and no way of comparing that. So there had to have been something. And even today, there's still a lot of different sightings of creatures like this. I mean, take the Pukwudgies. They're seen by so many people. Let me know what you guys think about the Pukwudgies down below. Let me know what your guys' favorite mythological creature are, what your favorite fairy is. If you have had any paranormal experiences and you want to share them with me, I would love to hear them. You can go ahead and email me at brittanybriereghost@gmail.com. In the meantime, make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and until my next video, I love you guys. Bye.